ladies and gentlemen, it's time to talk about something very, very, very devastating that has occurred in the Wuthering Waves space. Well, not really occurred right now, but something that's been occurring over the past couple of weeks, and that is the massive amount of brigading that has occurred in the r/Wuthering Waves, the official subreddit for Wuthering Waves. And we have confirmation, full confirmation, from the mods that there has been a lot of stuff going on over the past couple of weeks, and I want to get right on into it because I'm going to be honest here. I called a lot of this stuff out. I called a lot of this behavior out that was occurring from very many players of other gacha games with multiple videos like Hoyoshills sabotaged anniversary feedback, which got dislike bombed. I wonder why. Anniversary doom posting is out of control, which also got dislike bombed. I wonder why. A lot of people were agreeing in this comment section, but there were a lot of people saying that I was just maybe making some shit up, that I didn't have any evidence, when it was very clear with the subreddit population blowing up and the subreddits of pretty much every other game going down in activity, that there was a lot of doom posting going on by people who weren't necessarily playing the game. And boy, oh boy, does this feel good to feel this vindication after tanking all of these communities that weren't playing their games, but doom posting Wuwa instead. So with that, let's go ahead, let's get right on into the Reddit post and see the official message from the mods about how the Wuthering Waves subreddit has been getting doom posted, brigaded for the past couple of weeks. Because guess what? I was right. I was right about everything. People said I had a tinfoil hat on. They said I was being a conspiracy theorist for saying that Hoyoshills were invading the subreddit. But now we got official data from the mods themselves saying that it was actually the case. So let's go ahead. Let's start breaking down what exactly we're seeing over here. So we got a message from Goblin Burgers. Just some things we wanted to address to the community. Clarity on our ties to Kuro games. We're gonna kind of like get through this initial part kind of fast. Yes, this is the official subreddit for Wuthering Waves. Yes, we have a Kuro game staff member on the moderation team as well, as a means to be in contact with them. I've already confirmed that. You might be able to see it on the side over here where they show all the mods. Yeah, you got Violet KK Chen, who's official Kuro game staff, and then the official user, Wuthering Waves, which is, of course, going to be Kuro game staff as well. So that is confirmed. That is true, but it sounds like they don't have a heavy hand in actually moderating the subreddit. They do not participate in the moderation, enforce its rules, or have influence over the moderation team's actions. No, we are not employed by Kuro. No, we do not have special access to test servers, info, etc. of any degree, just from being on the mod team. And when news drops regarding the game, we are made aware at the same time as you. And when the community gets given rewards, like codes, that sort of stuff, they're a part of that same exact community. So makes sense there. Now let's get into perhaps the real meat of the discussion here, addressing the increase of harassment towards the moderation team. This mostly relates to mod mails. There seems to be a thought process that because the person being spoken to is a moderator, one can attack them and still expect cordiality in return because anything else is unbecoming and would make for great drama on certain drama-oriented subreddits. Basically, people doing a little bit of fishing. People doing a little bit of baiting. Trying to, attack the mods and then get a spicy response in advance. And then go ahead and start posting about how they got maybe harassed by the mods, right? Or the mods weren't very nice to them, that sort of thing. This moderation team has been called every insult and slur in the dictionary, attacked daily in mod mail for simply upholding the rules, and gaslit by users who think they're clever by deleting the very comment that earned them the ban in the first place, as if we don't log it, and then claim they didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, this sounds like this sounds like a Genshin Impact player to me. This sounds like either a really dumb kid or a Genshin Impact player to me. So, checks out. I personally had a user who was only temporarily banned for 3 days due to a clear violation of the rules go out of their way to harass me. They spammed mod mail, flooded my Reddit DMs, tracked down my Discord account to continue the harassment, and even went so far as to find and harass me on my personal social media. Do realize, guys, this is the same exact community that Cats, because they look like an in-game character, they sent assassins after Da Wei because he made bunny suit skins for their characters and made it feel like they were being sold to global players, and so couldn't have that for my fictional waifu, so we gotta send the assassins there. Yeah, no, that's the same community, and so I am not surprised that after being banned for 3 days, he probably, I get, this is what I imagine happened. They probably got banned across the anniversary drama, and they were like, no! I don't get to doom post the game at like the perfect time to doom post. You need to unban me now so I can doom post during the anniversary. That's probably what happened. It makes a lot of sense to me, right? That was like a hot topic. They really wanted to get into it. Yeah, prime XJJ behavior over here. All of this just over a simple 3-day temporary ban. Despite that, I believe that we should stay cordial no matter how frustrated we get. However, some individuals have repeatedly and deliberately tried to hurt us as if there isn't a human being on the other side of the screen. You're dealing with the Hoyo community. I don't know why you're not surprised. Frankly, this is a little bit of, I can blame them a lot, but I gotta blame the moderation team a little bit. You gotta understand the audience that you're going against over here when it comes to Hoyoverse players. They're literally not mentally well. And if you're going into it not preparing yourself to deal with somebody that's insane, then you're gonna be a little bit shell-shocked by the responses, by the attacks that you're going to get. You can't go into this thinking that these community members from other games are normal people, because they're not. And that's one of the worst ways, right? To kind of get like your expectations completely warped, to get into a conversation that you're not fully prepared for, because these guys are fucking freaks. Let's just be honest here. So, going forward, we will not engage with harassment. Good. If you attempt to harass or attack anyone on the moderation team when sending in a mod mail, you will simply be muted. Just ban them. Just if they send you harassment after getting banned, just permanently ban them and then mute them too, right? I hope you're extending their ban when that happens. I hope you're not unbanning them still if they send harassment. It's not clear here what's going on. The ban should just be lifelong at this point. And so now, let's get into the meat of the discussion. And I am actually going to bring up a little bit of proof here. I'm going to bring up a little bit of glue to this conversation. So, addressing brigading. It has become extremely obvious that there are certain individuals and groups who come here specifically to fan the flames. We especially saw a spike in this during the anniversary issues. Just like how I mentioned in all of these different videos, the exact thing was happening. And then, coincidentally enough, these exact videos get dislike bombed. So me calling out the obvious brigading that's going on in the subreddit, the videos proceed to get dislike bombed. Looks like it was happening on Reddit and then also happening on YouTube. It's pretty clear that all the dots are connecting. I even have a third video, actually, where I bring some evidence and some glue into the conversation, and that one still also got dislike bombed. Yeah, I had Wuwa's Reddit got ruined, and this is one of the big things that I highlight over here. This is probably the wrong video to show it. I think I accidentally hide some of the stuff. I think it's in my Pride Win video, and that one got a little bit dislike bombed as well. So, we can just clearly see over here, the Wuthering Waves subreddit is at about 1.3k active users with only 377k subscribers. And because it's during the anniversary and all of the drama, right? Look at how it compares to every other game. ZZZ official, 363. ZZZ, the unofficial one, 601. I'll bring up even more glue. Oh, it's right here. Yep, Wuthering Waves at 1.1 in this past footage. Genshin Impact at 697. ZZZ official at 363. Honkai Star Rail at 596. And then Wuthering Waves, despite the patch being live and the patch being active, it's not even close. And it has literally 1/3 to 1/4 to 1/6 of the subscribers of all of these other games. But it's still having this many active users. And that's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. That's the level of brigading that you could factually see just from the active numbers in the subreddit. That's the amount of brigading that was actively going on. And people were calling me schizo for calling that stuff out. And they were also going ahead, mass downvoting every single video that was talking about that sort of stuff. Bro is reaching, hey, they're still doing it right now. Take off the tinfoil hat. Anything but not schizoing out. Follow today, by the way. So you're still typing all of this, despite the fact that the mods themselves who have the analytics of the subreddit are literally telling you that it happened? Yep. Okay, so you're just started. Alright, that's good to know. We especially saw a spike in this during the anniversary issues. Even our subreddit analytics reported activity significantly out of the normal range and standard deviation. Sounds about right. That's what it's like to get brigaded. We are aware of these individuals to a high degree of certainty. So they've been able to pinpoint exactly who these commenters are and these thread posters are, but have allowed them to remain so long as they were voicing their concerns, as we believe everyone has that right. And I think this was definitely the worst move in gacha gaming, the worst move in subreddit moderation history. I don't know why they did this. They literally know that people are coming here on vacation to exclusively shit on the game and fake being a concerned player. Like, they literally knew people were here just to do that, and they said, oh, yeah, we'll just allow it, because, I mean, they're just voicing their concerns. They were lying. They were voicing fake concerns that they didn't have to farm as much outrage as possible in the general community and make issues seem much worse than they actually were. That was their only intent and their only goal. That is the literal definition of astroturfing. And the admission over here is that they basically saw people with malicious intent trying to ruin the subreddit, ruin the community's perception of the game, go ahead and over-exaggerate issues and bring normal players onto their side through that over-exaggeration, and they just allowed it. Yeah. I'm kind of baffled that this was the response, to be honest. I'm honestly so baffled that they allowed this to occur, knowing in 2025 the actual impact of astroturfing and what it can do to communities. Yeah, I do believe this moderation team needs an overhaul. If this was the approach that they had, maybe it's like an overhaul in their practices moving forward, because they're basically giving the green light to just brigade this fucking subreddit again. If this is the response. Yeah, pretend you're voicing your concern and you can post anything you want. You can doom post the game all you want. Just make sure the disguise is good enough. Seriously? Really? That's the approach that we're going to go with? You know that it's illegitimate. You know that it's a problem, but you're just going to let it happen because they're disguised well enough? Oh, God. We do not allow our community to disparage other users, subreddits, communities, etc., because we believe that by being better individuals, we build a better, more welcoming community. You are literally under attack. Invaders are banging on the door of your castle, and you just open the door and let them in. Are you guys serious? Like, you literally know firsthand how toxic and ridiculous this community is, where your mods are literally, your mod team is getting harassed over 3-day bans. People are trying to gaslight you, and you're just like, oh, we just need to be positive. We just need to be positive, and we'll weather this storm. It'll be okay. Just shut up. This almost sounds like an excuse to be lazy, to be honest. Yeah, this almost sounds like an excuse to just not do something, frankly. Just put your foot down, actually moderate the fucking subreddit, and stop letting these absolute freaks in to distort the narrative. It's really just that easy, folks. However, at this point, if we have a very high degree of certainty that you are here participating in brigading, we will issue a permanent ban. Consider this your final warning. I hope that this isn't all bark, no bite. I hope that they're actually going to follow through on this. I want to see a lot of freaking losers on this subreddit actually get permanently banned. And I want to see, like, a massive ban wave. This subreddit was literally unusable for the past 2 weeks. Straight up unusable for the past 2 weeks because of the insane amount of doom posting going on and the insane amount of people going ahead and just faking concern out of the game. Fake concern. And it's exhausting at this point. Trying to navigate this thing. That's why I don't even look at it anymore. I and many other people have basically quit looking at the subreddit. And guess what that means? That means there's less people commenting, less people to actually talk about the active doom posting going on. And what you've done by not moderating the subreddit and being so loose and trying to be so better and welcoming is you've killed the community. You've actively killed the community by letting a literal cancer spread in the form of these brigaders, and you let it go on and spread for so fucking long. It was ridiculous. So now, let's get into addressing leaks. Let's get into some of the other stuff that they have going on over here. One of the core aspects we have maintained from the start is providing multiple chances when it comes to leak-related rule violations, just simply on the basis that everyone deserves a second chance, within reason. However, leaks can cause serious damage, misconstrue community expectations, ruin experiences, and overall spread misinfo. Revisiting this policy with stricter enforcement in mind. To clarify, the stricter enforcement is in regards with those fractions that are only attainable through participation in leaked content. E.g., someone describes a character's kit when they haven't shown in-game. Yeah, I think that sounds about right for the main subreddit. I know that they've been a little bit ban heavy or a little bit post-removal heavy when it comes to, like, just saying, oh, I hope Zani deals good spectro damage before she's released, but her drip marketing has come out, and she has, like, the spectro attribute, and so they'll say that, like, oh, that's, like, leaks. I think they could be less heavy-handed when it comes to, like, basic stuff like that, but yeah. Addressing criticism and repeated posts. Anyone who has been active in this subreddit can speak to its history of allowing criticism to be expressed, whether it was the recent anniversary controversy, where they allowed too much, the 10-cent merger controversy, where they again allowed too much, the female-male ratio controversy, which is just, it's anyone participating in that conversation is just basically a loser, the launch issues, etc. Criticism is and always will be welcome here. However, when criticism overruns the subreddit, moderation becomes necessary, because yes, it's pretty much just brigading at that point. There does not need to be a wall of posts addressing the same issues with slightly different wording. True, because that's a result of brigading. If a criticism post has nothing substantially new to add and could reasonably be a comment under an existing one, it will be removed and redirected there. Cool, that's fine. However, maybe link the post that they're supposed to put their criticism under when you delete it, so that they're not like,
oh my gosh, I'm too stupid and lazy. I'm too greedy and stupid to find out, like, where I need to post this comment. Oh, the mods are so awful and terrible.
yeah, you could just link it to the post where you want them to post it then. During the recent anniversary criticism that was taking place, we noticed that users who just wanted to post something completely unrelated to the anniversary were having their posts mass reported and downvoted by the community because it did not fit with their negativity. That's called brigading. Why are you just, like, not calling it what it is? Like, even to this point, they don't want to call this brigading. When regular posts are getting mass downvoted because they're not subscribing to the doom posting brigading agenda, why are you saying that it's users of the community? No, it's people that aren't in this community. What is this? Like, do they have, like, fucking blinders on? Are they literally, like, the part of humanity that can only see good in others? What is wrong with this moderation team? They're literally incapable. What? How can you even word it like this? You literally just described brigading, but you just won't call it that. Mass reporting legitimate posts because they aren't subscribing with the doom posting agenda? This subreddit is literally turning into dog shit right before our eyes. Not right before our eyes, it's already happened. It's completely trash right now. And that should not be acceptable because it's literally fucking brigading. Okay, let's keep going. Holy shit, this is one of the worst. This is like good and bad. But it's so bad because it exposes the incapability of this moderation team. This is honestly baffling. There also seems to be a misunderstanding that flooding the subreddit with repeated posts will make Kuro notice. In reality, the best way to reach Kuro is through the in-game feedback function. Well, unfortunately, all these people doom posting the game don't actually fucking play it, so they won't have access to this in-game feedback function. All these complaints that you're seeing about the anniversary, yeah, they're not being made by actual players. And so this whole in-game feedback function is not going to be actively used by them. So I hope you do keep that in mind, moderation team. That's how fucking brigading works. Useless fucking advice. While this may be the official subreddit of the game, it's still an extremely minor sub-community of the overall greater Woo-Wah community, because everyone is starting to leave because you're doing such a dog shit job of moderating it. You're just letting all these freaks in, post whatever they want, and you allowed them to ruin the subreddit during the anniversary. You just let them do it.
Because they were voicing their concerns when they don't play the fucking game.
Even with this recent anniversary drama, the moderation team put together the community's concerns and forwarded that to Kuro ourselves. Great. You got the input of a bunch of people who didn't play the fucking game and then forwarded it to Kuro personally. I'm sure they appreciated that. Wait, let me just find the meme appropriate. Yeah, it was just like this. Great. That's what Kuro did with your feedback. They probably knew it was all bullshit anyways. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is what happened immediately after Kuro received the feedback from this subreddit. This is not a drama subreddit, but yes, the game will inevitably have drama tied to it, and we will let those issues be discussed and spoken about, but within reason. Yeah, just clearly outline the rules that the brigaders need to follow. The brigaders will then proceed to follow those rules, and you'll do nothing about those fucking posts, and then just let them keep doom posting. Because you clearly saw there's an uptick in analytics whenever there's this drama going on. You just give them rules for how they can bullshit about the drama, and then you'll just let it slide. That's kind of just what it seems like at this point. It is what it is. I think the subreddit is fucking cooked. Addressing emotes. Nobody cares. Final remarks. I'm just going to address some random things I saw in some posts to bring forth clarity. If you post something that is leaked discussion or based on information only available through leaks, even if it's just an hour before it becomes public, it will still be treated. Okay, cool. Yes, we should leave a note when locking posts that require moderation intervention or when a moderation discussion is happening. We will work on this moving forward. Okay, cool. If a post consistently requires moderation intervention, generates a high volume of rule-breaking discussion repeatedly, we will lock it down. Okay, cool. The reason why rules are on the sidebar are not explicit is not just to umbrella cover situations, but also because Reddit limits the character count. Oh, okay, cool. U/Wuthering Waves account is not a unique Kuro game staff member, but rather an official account with the original intentions of direct communication from Kuro to the subreddit. Okay, cool. On that note, we are volunteers doing this on our own free time. We cannot see every post and comment immediately. If you see someone breaking the rules, please report it. So, okay, please. Okay, this is the thing. Then bad of a job, I think. My advice: just quit and let somebody else. Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's somebody else that's willing to do a better job than whatever the fuck this is. Just at this point, just quit. A recurring issue we encounter is rule breakers pointing to other unmoderated content as an excuse. But okay. Yeah, I think this is kind of just over here. This is a little bit of like PR coverage. This is a little bit of just like really wacky shit going on over here. I gotta say, this subreddit is currently a fucking disaster. It's currently a bunch of brigaders. It was ruined following the anniversary, during the anniversary. And unfortunately, right, it doesn't look like they have a lot of measures in place to prevent it from happening again. Because as long as you follow their dainty little rules, they'll just let you post whatever the fuck you want. And I don't think that's really a great way to moderate a subreddit that you know has been actively doom posted and has been actively brigaded. And we have all the receipts, we have all the proof to show it. So yeah, that's just my take though. Let me know what you all think. Peace.